Ho ho, me hearties! A very, very good evening to you, and a very, very warm welcome to our live. Now it's Friday night, 9 o'clock. Nothing gets past me, and I thought we'll just pop up and see who's about. A nice bit of random live streaming, a nice bit of internet broadcasting, just for you, saying Dinky-Doo. So do come and join us. You're very, very welcome. We're in the process of telling 10 to tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10 that Scottie McCLUE is live just for you and saying Dinky-Doo. There's Kareem. Hello, Scottie. It's your fine self. What a week. Beautiful day today. Lovely day today, Kareem. And what I've done, Kareem, I've got the lines open. If you're wanting to give me a ring, feel free to do so. So there we are. So I've actually opened up the lines, which is very unusual for a Friday night. And as I say, if you'd like to come on, then please do so. It's not a problem. Fantastic stuff. So there we are. Very lovely day today. Here we are. Hello, you're live on Scottish Phone In. Who's that?
It's Kareem.
Oh, Kareem, you're a great man. Well done. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm actually in the bath and you came popped up. I thought, excellent, I'll watch the show. And then you said you can phone in, even better.
Even better, but you promise you won't electrocute yourself in the bath with the phone.
I've got like a hook thing on my phone so it can't fall out my hand.
How fantastic is that? We love it. Absolutely. So now, what's happening with you in the real world, Kareem?
Nothing much, to be fair, Scottie. Just winding down to the Easter holidays in 2 weeks' time.
A couple of weeks' time, you get a very, very well-deserved break. How's the old health after that little scare that you had, or big scare?
I've been going back to the gym and I honestly feel like a geriatric, believe it or not. I'm struggling to lift the weights that I had previously, but I'm working my way back up again. I need to keep positive.
And can oh, absolutely. And can you feel a difference? Can you feel an improvement, Kareem?
I feel better, but I still at night, Scottie, I still need to sleep upright like a 45-degree angle.
Right.
Because if I lie flat on my back, it's as if in the morning someone's sitting on my chest.
Ah, right. Yes, absolutely. It's tight on your chest. Not so good.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, well, listen, every strength to you, Kareem. You know, we're all rooting for you here. Listen to this one, Kareem. Hello, Scottie. The boys, Pan's boys, are back, and Mamasses just been for a nice curry in Dalkeith. Is that not amazing? That's from Snedden.
It kind of annoys me. I don't want to go on about the topic, but there's like a lot of people kind of say it's like a little, oh, it's like a cold, it's like a flu. And I say if you have that type of symptom, then you're very, very lucky because there's so many people that, like myself, that didn't get it for 2 years and then were absolutely hit. And there's still effects. So it kind of annoys me when people brush it off, just saying it's a cold. It's not a cold. It can be a lot worse and a lot more.
Absolutely, Kareem. Yes, indeed. And as I say, every strength to you. We hope that that you keep getting strong and well.
Thank you, Scottie. On the positive side, I've booked for Aviemore for the first week.
Fantastic.
And I can't remember. It's the big giant hotel up in Aviemore. You'll know what it is. It's at the McDonald. I won't say the name.
No. Yes, I know it well.
Yes. So I've never been to that hotel or stayed up there. So hopefully that'll be a lovely.
Well, it's a fine part of the world, and there's some very nice runs when you go even further north into the Spey Valley.
Yes.
You know.
I'm going up with one of my work colleagues, and she says, let's book a holiday. So we also booked a holiday to Gran Canaria.
Fantastic. Well, can I tell you, there's apparently, I must go and visit it, a little ruined chapel at Rothiemurchus. And that's where the ashes of Lord Reith of the BBC are scattered. His daughter and one of the former directors general of the BBC went with her, and they scattered Lord Reith's ashes. And he set the BBC up 100 years ago this year.
Will there be like a wee shrine or any information.
I don't know, Kareem. That's the thing. As I say, I haven't visited. I do go up to visit, but I haven't managed to make it to the wee ruined chapel at Rothiemurchus.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
somebody
well,
else might have some more information on it, because Reith used to go for holidays and he was very, very happy up there.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
being a son of the manse, you know, you've probably heard this, but it can be very challenging. There was quite a big family of them, quite a few children, and father was obviously looking after his parishioners. So they felt that parental attention wasn't always on them, you know.
Right, okay, right.
And mother was out doing good works.
Right.
And young John Reith used to come in from school from Glasgow Academy because they stayed up in, the manse was in Lindach Street, which is just up from Woodlands towards Park.
Right.
And he used to get quite angry that there was nobody there to welcome him home and ask how his day was. And they reckoned that was partially responsible for his sort of mood swings, you know.
Right, okay. Could have been bipolar.
He could well have been. There was a bit of that in the family. One of his brothers had to go into care because he was doing madder and madder things, ending up in lifting up drain covers in the street and things like that, which made it a bit dangerous. So he could well have been, and perhaps in those days wouldn't have been properly diagnosed. But he was a brilliant, brilliant man. He was a terrible husband and father, but he was a brilliant, brilliant man. Do you know what I mean? So as you say, there could well have been something here. He may have been on the spectrum.
Yes. Oh, goodness.
But in those days, sadly, they didn't know about these things and people weren't diagnosed.
Yes.
Because they could probably have balanced it with a little bit of medication.
It'd have been fine, absolutely.
Yep, and a little bit of understanding at school, you know.
Yes, that's going to be an absolutely scorcher of a weekend, Scottie.
Oh, apparently a beauty. I don't know about you, but I came out from work tonight and I thought, this is marvellous.
Yes.
You know, there's always a time.
I managed to have a period outside with a group.
Wonderful.
It was just absolutely beautiful to walk. It was a well-being walk and took them around the park, and it was just lovely.
Fantastic. Kareem, a joy to hear you as always, and we'll catch up tomorrow night on the big phone in.
DINKY-DOO, and thanks for having my call, Scottie.
Bless you, sir. Lovely to hear you. DINKY-DOO. There we are. That's our Kareem. What an amazing guy, and fantastic stuff. I say now, here's everybody coming and joining us. Here's Gareth. DINKY-DOO. Scottie. Hi, Scottie, says Gary. Scottie, I've left my job at the donut factory. I was sick of the whole business. Excellent, Robert. DINKY-DOO. Robert says, I went to the Discovery ship today in Dundee, RF, Scott and Shackleton. I can't believe how much good nick it's in, considering it was built in 1900. Yes, and the exhibition, the expedition, not exhibition, it's an exhibition, the Discovery. The expedition was 1912, wasn't it? Well, that was the fatal one. I think he'd been on a couple before, Robert Falcon Scott. And when I was a little boy, Peter Scott, his son, was around and did a documentary about his father and how his father's body would be down about 60 feet. It sank about a foot a year, 50, 60 feet. So here we are. Now, back to all the chat here with you lovely guys. You look like, what do we got here? Mon the Panners. Love the Irish, says Prof. DINKY-DOO, Prof. Do you think Scottish independence is a good idea? It's an excellent idea. Whether it will ever come to pass or not, I don't know. How are you doing, Scottstar? Do you like Biden? I don't dislike Biden. I don't really know him, but he's sort of ineffectual. I say, somebody said, well, I'll tell you who is in charge, and it's certainly not Biden. Quite interesting, isn't it? When you hear that sort of thing. Shout out to my dad. DINKY-DOO, wonderful stuff. Scottie, Mary Lee Milroy has sadly passed on today. Robert, I found that out tonight. One of my former colleagues had posted on another platform that Mary had suddenly passed away, a terrific lady. And when I was on the radio, a year ago, just over a year ago, then we used to get a telephone call from her friend Anna. And Anna would say that Mary was doing well and just looking the same. She put on her makeup and dressed up and all the rest of it. A terrific character, Mary and Jack Milroy. Lovely, lovely people. I was privileged to have met them and to have known them. And they were big Scottie McCLUE fans. I like that, you know. Good morning, Scottie from Australia. So bless Mary and thank you for all the lovely things she did for so many people in show business and outside. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Yes, indeed to you. If you achieve independence, how will you live on whiskey and salmon? Well, I think we'll be doing a bit more than that. We've got some very, very fine bakeries. Remember, Scotland is the breadbasket of the UK, the larder of the UK. She's back with her beloved Jack now. She is Robert, and they were a great couple. How are you doing tonight? Jack said to me, he says, Scottie, son, Mary and I love your show. We listen every day and see when you finish, son. We just put it off. And the DJ that followed me did not like me because 80,000 people put the radios off. Scottie the Big Bunnet, what's happening, Scottie? Good morning, Scottie from Australia, the first lord of the internet, DINKY-DOO, Frank Meyer. How lovely to have you with us, DINKY-DOO. It's sad to see what's happening in the Ukraine. It is, Frank. And I hope that Mr. Putin just puts a stop to it at some point. Hello, Scottie and all, the wonderful Kareem there. Amazing. Yes, I visited the Discovery some time ago now. I think maybe you'd be talking 77. So she would be 65 years old then. And of course, she's now 100 and what did we say? Oh no, she was built in 1900, so she was 77 years old then. Built 1900. I was thinking about 1912 when they went on the expedition. But so she's now 122. How long are you on for, Scottie? I don't know, Brian. We'll see how it goes. Have you been to Fraserburgh, Scottie? Up to the Broch? Again, fantastic. I used to work for Grampian Television, and I can remember going out to Cramond. No, sorry, Crimond. Cramond's just outside Edinburgh. Crimond is just outside the Broch. Is that right? So there we are. Billy Owen, bit harsh. Why do all the pro-Scottish independent supporters tend to have jobs in London? Well, because I think they don't. Have you been to Inverness, Scottie? Of course I've been to Schnecky, where they speak the best English in the world. How amazing is that? Hey, lad, DINKY-DOO. Lovely to have you with us and a very, very warm welcome, guys. How's you, La? It's Martin and Emma. Did the phone lines get opened? They did, Martin. If you want to phone in, give it a go and let me know. Hey, from Dumbarton. Hello, Gavin. How lovely to have you with us from Dumbarton. In Sydney Harbour, the bridge turns 90 years old today. Wow. Happy birthday to the Sydney Harbour Bridge from everybody on Scottie McClue's YouTube and TikTok worldwide. You need to sort your internet, Scottie. My internet's brilliant, Brian. You need to sort yours. You mustn't assume the other person's in the wrong. No doubt George will now be best. Oh, my goodness me. What are you driving these days? Well, I'm driving the same cars I've always driven. I've got two cars. One is 22 years old, and the other is 30 years old. All right, so there we have it. Favorite Scottish band, Jimmy Shand and his band. Tremendous stuff. I've been watching the wonderful John Carmichael with Carmichael's Kaylee on my Facebook page. To support a specific football club, not financially, Roman, no. Have you been to Fife? Many, many times, Ken. Look at the TikTok videos and you'll see one purely based on Fife. Tremendous stuff. There we are. You need to open them. They're open, Martin. So give us a wee ring. Going to voicemail, he says. Try it again, Martin. See if that will get you through. You're not working in the radio stations anymore, Scottie. You haven't been for over a year, Clarky. So there we are. But we'll probably be back at some point. What do you think about electric vehicles? Well, you're not going to sell electric vehicles if you don't shove up the price of petrol and diesel. Hello, you're live in Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
Oh, Scottie, Martin.
Hello, Lala. How are you, Martin? Are you dinky-doo?
Yes, Lala.
What do you think about this? We thought we'd do just a random pop-up on a Friday night and also take a few calls.
Nice, lovely. Good.
Fantastic.
Good. I am up to 383 now off Take the High Road.
Oh, 383 episodes of Take the High Road. That is amazing.
And Dougal is still in it.
Yes, Dougal is fantastic. I think Dougal was in them all.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Fantastic guy. Alec Monteith. Sadly, I think Alec passed away just about a year or so ago.
Mm-hmm. How's the Ukraine stuff getting on?
Well, it's not looking too clever. I wish they'd just put a stop to it.
I know.
I mean, it's a complete load of nonsense, but I'm hearing all sorts of different things about it, you know, that Ukraine is still part of Russia.
And the last time we spoke, you said a few months ago, you said this year's the year there will be voting coming in soon as well, and from the councils.
Oh, in the UK. Yes. Oh, yes. There'll be elections for the UK. Yeah, absolutely. But no matter who you vote for, you still end up with the Tories in London, don't you?
I know, and I am linked to your Ash Wednesday thing you had. I like that.
Oh, did you like that one, Martin? There's two pictures. Yes, there's two, and that's the most recent one. And did you see the one with the wee West Highland Terrier?
Yes, I did. And I like the one when you took your bun off to show your hair off.
Yes, that's right. Showing everybody my hair.
Aye.
Fantastic stuff. And DINKY-DOO.
So how's Kadeem? Okay?
Well, yes, he's just been on for a good chat, and he says though he's taking it slow.
Oh, cool.
But he's doing well, but he's still suffering from it, you know.
And Emma's doing well as well.
Emma's doing well. I'm glad to hear that, and you're doing well.
Yes, I am doing really well.
So everybody's doing well, and Scottie McCLUE's doing well.
Yes. Anyone who's in your radio station yet?
No, that's still being talked about. It's gone a little bit quiet, actually. You see, there's several steps in all these things, and they have to decide if they've got the money. So there's any radio station would love to have Scottie McCLUE, but a lot of them don't have the money to afford it. And you could be a busy fool all your life, you know what I mean?
Yes.
You know, I could die penniless because I was just wanting to be generous. You see? So you've got to ask. I mean, I've never, ever been greedy, and that's been one of the reasons for my success.
Yes.
You see, but you do have to have a certain standard, and if somebody's getting something for next to nothing, they're not going to value it, are they?
Yes.
You know?
So today's been a lovely Scottish day.
Oh, it's been absolutely outstanding.
And tomorrow's going to be the exact same as well.
Oh, wow, Martin. Amazing. Well, listen, you enjoy it, and lovely to hear you, and love to you and Emma.
You too, Lala. Love you lots.
Love you lots, Lala, and DINKY-DOO.
DINKY-DOO, Scottie. Love you. Bye.
Love you, Martin. Ta-ra. There we are. That's our Martin. Oh, my goodness, we're busy tonight. You're live on Scottie's phone in. Who's that?
Hello, Scottie. It's me, Rory.
Who is it, Neil?
Rory McCLUE.
Oh, it's Rory. How lovely to hear you. DINKY-DOO.
DINKY-DOO indeed. Scottie, let me just tell you something.
Yes, sir.
I was out with the sheep today, and I'll tell you something. Oh, the winds were cool out the way back here in the Western Isles of the Isle of Barra. Oh, something else, man.
Was it fantastic, Rory?
I'll tell you something. You should pick up a few sheep yourself.
Do you not think, yes, and maybe come up and do a wee bit of shepherding, learn the craft properly?
I'll tell you something. It's not hard, but it's not easy.
It's not easy. It's a tough life, and you'll be lambing at the moment.
this morning.
And that's a tough one. That's a tough one, isn't it?
Aye. Got
Ro-
them. Timmy, Sean, Agus, and Lewis.
Aye, yes, indeed. And I've got the crook, and I've got a good lean on it.
Oh, now I'll tell you something. My Jane used to always say, if you're walking around the hills of Illinois, so you'd be respected by everyone.
Listen, you're 100%. You've got my respect. Fantastic.
Thank you, Scottie.
Lovely talking to you. And Rory, the only thing is, don't try and get too much work in London.
Tell you something, Scottie. There's something else up there.
Fantastic. And Kabrahu Maha.
I know me, don't I? Kabrahu Shween.
And Ikiva Maha.
Scottie.
What a great guy. Rory, the shepherd from Barra. Is that not fantastic, guys? Scottie, have you ever worked on Radio Clyde? Yes, I have. I used to do commercials for Radio Clyde from the late 70s. And then I ended up getting my own show, The Clyde Cayley, on a Saturday night. Loved it. And Radio Clyde and knew Jimmy Gordon and Alex Dixon very, very well indeed. They were a great help to me. Scottie, is that a badge or are you selling merch? No, wait, and I'll show you. Hang on, we'll just turn this round so you can see it. Hold on a wee second till I get this right for you. There we have it. Now, oh, right. Now, where is that? I'm looking for something here, and I can't seem to get it. I was trying to... Yes. Now, that's very interesting. I'm trying to, guys, get it so you can read the badge properly. But I don't seem to be able to see it. What have we got here? Nope, don't seem to have that. Right, I'll look back for it. I used to always have it here, and I can't actually see it just at this moment. But not to worry. 4,000 likes, guys. Hello, pal. How are you doing? Thomas Hamilton. Lovely to have you with us. And DINKY-DOO. Now, who have we got here? Floaty, First Lord of the Internet. Scottie, I've sent you a Together Live request. Right, well, we haven't seen that, Bounce Media, but I think we've turned that off for the moment, if you get my drift. Now, who have we got here? Evening, Scottie. I last spoke to you at the snack bar at Hamilton when you did the radio show. DINKY-DOO. Stephen, lovely to have you with us. And DINKY-DOO. Hello, pal, says Thomas. Good evening, Scottie. I love the picture of Clyde in the cornfield. Isn't he beautiful, Ronnie? Yeah, absolutely. Hello and DINKY-DOO to you. That cornfield was right at my front door, and it would fill up with poppies in the summer. Okay, no problem at all, Bounce, mate. There we are. 100, he won't tell you, every day's tried. What's that for? My goodness me. Barra, a cold and lonely place, according to John Laurie. John Laurie, according to John Laurie, we were all doomed. There we go. Hello and DINKY-DOO to you. Hello, Ian. How lovely to have you with us. And DINKY-DOO. That wasn't Clyde in the cornfield, Ronnie. Now that I think about it, that was Lord Reith in the cornfield. But from a distance, they do look alike, although Reith was a big dog and Clyde was a wee dog. Yes, it did. Scottie, would you do if when you... Okay, so he said yes, would go. Nerfan, I haven't a clue what you're asking there, my dear fellow. Good evening, Sir Scottie, the wonderful Sir Geodog. Sir Geodog, I can't thank you enough for your advice on the Douglas Dakota DC-3. And I think that one is the C-17 Skytrain. I looked it up, the military application. Probably a lot better technology and a lot more sparse inside. Wow, what a wonderful thing to have outside your door. Ronnie, that was Golden Hill. And I could go up there and see over Edinburgh. It was tremendous. If I ever met you, can I drink? And he mentions a beer with you. Well, Carla Army, you can have a beer. I don't drink alcohol any longer. There we are. I decided to chuck it. Oh, Lord Reith, I'm sorry to have confused him with Clyde. Ronnie, not at all. Because, it's a black Labrador. And you want to know when the photo was taken. Scottie, so happy to see you. And me too, breakfast 1000. Very, very happy to see you, I say. I climbed Ben Nevis last year. Have you ever wanted to tackle the Ben? James, I can remember taking Lord Reith for a walk. Near the end of her life, I took my mother to Fort William and I walked him a bit up the Ben and back down again. I heard you're an unofficial Yorkshireman. No, I'm an official Yorkshireman. I'm the world's only honorary Yorkshireman. Aye, that's Yorkshire, Scottie. That's it. So there we have it, you see. Fantastic. Time for me to go. Take care, everyone. Yes, indeed, Frank. You take great care of you and Dinky-Doo from everybody watching Scottie McCLUE. Good evening. How are you, Scottie? Hello, Alex. How lovely to have you with us. And a big Dinky-Doo to you. Hello from Paisley in Glasgow. Big, it's lovely to have you with us. And Dinky-Doo from Paisley in Glasgow. I don't think Paisley's really in Glasgow. I think Paisley's in Renfrewshire. You'd have to travel out of Paisley towards, now how would you go? Towards Barhead, towards Nitz Hill to go into Glasgow. So there you are. You'd have to go towards the Hurlet. Yes, have you ever heard of the Hurlet? So there you are. No, Robert, sorry to disappoint you. You mustn't think everybody has your standards. There we are. Hello, Scottie, how are you? The world's only honorary Yorkshireman. Extraordinary, yes. I was made an honorary Yorkshireman. Is that not beautiful? Fantastic. Up the hill and round and down again. Yes, geologists. Absolutely. And Geodog, can I tell you, there's Moya asking if I speak Irish. So I do, of course I do. Top of the evening to you. What I was thinking the other night, thank you for saying how brave my father was, because he was, absolutely. But I found out that they'd liberated that airfield the day before. So if you look it up, you'll find that Sola Airfield near Stavanger was liberated on the 9th of May 1945. That photo was taken on the 10th. So that must have been one of the first aircraft in after liberation. So I would imagine they dropped the paras in and they had to fight the action. I'd love to be an honorary Yorkshireman. I think everyone would, Ronnie. It's such a privilege, such an accolade. Hi from Aberdeen in Dundee. So there we go. Now, what have you got? Scott, I want to live with you, so I could ask you to say a heavenly hello and love to my mum. Bounce, no problem at all. We can say a heavenly hello and love to your mum. Hi from Aberdeen in Dundee. Yes, indeed, Big D. So there you are. June Dinky-Doo. What do you say to people? What do you say to people who say you're full of yourself? Well, I say they're 100% wrong. I'm known as the world's most humble man, as well as the world's top broadcaster and the first lord of the internet. You see, you wouldn't get these accolades if you were full of yourself. You know what I mean? So we've no time for people that are full of themselves. Absolutely true. The paras would have been first in and last out. Well, I wondered, Geodog, they look as if they're walking out to the aircraft. Once they'd liberated the airport, the airfield, would it have been possible that the Skytrain would have landed to take them out again as soon as a day afterwards? Is that a possibility? Maybe once they'd freed the airport and cleared it, they said, right, get the paras out and let's get the trucks in. I don't know. OMG, thank you so much. My mum would have loved that. Bless her, I say. She will be loving that. She's only effectively in the next room. I once drove from Basildon, that's in Essex's breakfast, to Lark Hall, listening to your CD. I laughed all the way. The best of Scottie McCLUE. That CD was a huge seller. And the video was a bestseller. It outsold Billy Connolly. Incredible. I'm in tears. Thank you. The bounce, bless you. Thank you, and thank you to your lovely mum. And remember, that she loved you and you loved her. And you can't say fairer than that. Unless, of course, you can't pronounce your F's or your THs. Is it not ironic that you call yourself the most humble man in the world? No, because that's what I am. So there you are. Nothing ironic about it. Irony would be if it wasn't the case. So there you are. And you could have dramatic irony where the audience know what's going on, but the cast appear not to. Yes, sir. Paris duties to secure the objective, then hand it over to the more regular forces. Aha! So in theory, Geodog, they could have been flying them back out a day after. Yes, I know, and she loved you. So there we are. Many something for talking during your shows as a kid in the 90s. Many slaps. How are you, Lala? Martin, we are DINKY-DOO, Lala. Irony is saying that you're not being humble by calling yourself the most humble man in the world. Well, I didn't call myself that. Everybody else called me that. They said, I met Scottie McCLUE and he's very, very humble. You see? So there you are. So I'm just passing it on to you, NFR fan. You sound as if you're a wee bit full of yourself. There we are. Oh, telephone. What's going on here? You're live in Scottie's phone in. Who's that?
Hi, Scottie, it's Ewan.
Ewan, how are you getting on? Coming a hi, Umaha.
Are you back coming out shipping?
Absolutely. Are you fine?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
Yes, I've got this Dafty here, this NFR fan. It's like a wee dog with a bone. He says, that doesn't mean you're the most humble man in the world. If I've been called the most humble man in the world, I will take that one, NFR fan. Sorry, Ewan. I just had to deal with him. Ewan, we've just had the shepherd on from Barra, Rory.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. And we had a lovely chat with him tonight.
Yeah, I was on when he was on.
And what's happening, Ewan? Are you getting better weather now?
Yeah, I was just on the boat today with Daniel Gillis.
Lovely. Fantastic. And you had a nice time?
Yeah.
Were you at the fishing?
Yeah, I was with Dominic.
Wonderful. We love it. Ewan, it's always great to hear you. And can you give everyone's love to Barra?
Yeah.
Hey, and DINKY-DOO.
Aye.
Aikivamaha.
Thank you.
Aikivamaha. What a fine fellow. That's Ewan from Barra. The Barra boys are very big on the phone in. So there we are. Scottie is a dog without a bone when it comes to royalty. No, Steve, you just didn't like the fact that you couldn't come up with any facts, and I was giving you the facts. There's no dog with a bone. We can't let you away with nonsense. There we are. And remember, it's all chippiness on your part. You don't actually understand how royalty works. How do you feel about LGBTQ? Well, local legend, I thought we should maybe make it LGBTQS and add straight, and then you've got full inclusion. And I was also wondering today about, should we have straight pride marches, people that are very proud of being straight? I think that would be a nice touch as well. Alex, did you work with the late Mary Lee Milroy? Just saddened to hear of a death at 100. Do you know, Alex, I wasn't sure what age Mary was, but I thought she must be well into her 90s, and she was 100. How amazing. I didn't work with Mary, but I knew Mary and Jack. They were lovely, lovely people. Fantastic that. Humility personified as Scottie. Absolutely, Ronnie. There we are. Now, honestly, I'm not hating. I think it was a conversation. You weren't dealing with me. NFR fan, of course I was dealing with you, because you kept going on about thinking McCLUE in some way wasn't the most humble man in the world. And how could that be? There we are. Now, who have we got? Was he catching Fash? I think breakfast land, he was at the Fash. And did so. That's how we work. Secure the objective, hand it over, withdraw. Right, Geodog. So I'm not necessarily wrong by saying they may well have been pulling out a day afterwards. Get the paras out of there, please. Thank you. Are we all secure? Yes, indeed. Down the Swanee with Dave. Do you think so, Geodog? Oh, no. We'll see. We'll see. We'll give him a wee chance. Straight people haven't been oppressed for being straight, so they don't need the Pride celebration. Well, they may have been a bit oppressed, or they could get. We need to be careful. We maintain a balance and don't have heterophobia. You see, you don't want that either. We must maintain a balance. Who have we got here? Right. I'm trying to see who's ringing here, and I can't. Hang on. You're live on Scottie's phone in. Who's that?
Hello, Scottie. It's Alex Robertson here.
Alex, how lovely to have you with us. DINKY-DOO.
DINKY-DOO. I was just going to say to you, there's two things. One, obviously, a text there about Mary Lee. I was so saddened to hear about it today.
Yes.
I only heard today.
Oh, she was wonderful.
And I met her a few times when I did the King's Fan to Glasgow, and she used to sit and talk to me and just say, "I missed my Jack." And well, they're together again. So that's the only consolation here in that.
Absolutely, Alex. And 100 is a very good innings because
100-year-old, yeah, she was 101 this year.
Yes, because she was very friendly with my chum Kate Matheson and Ricky Fulton's wife. And of course, it's some time since both Ricky and Kate have gone.
Yeah, that's right. I guess so. I was at their funerals, and just it's sad. But I wanted to touch on one thing you mentioned, and I hope you don't mind. You said about LB, about the
LBG, yes, GTQ.
And have an S on it.
Yes.
Now, I've been a gay man myself. It's like the straight people, it's like they've had. I'm not being controversial. I'm being honest. It's like gay men and women have had to battle, obviously, for a long time to get this.
Yes, and were very, very badly treated, of course.
Yes, of course, and I just believe anyone who was straight at the time was fine. That's fine. That's what you're supposed to be. But and I think the reason Pride's for LBG, for the whole. For everybody.
LBGTQ.
Yeah, it was just to show that this is we've been fighting this, and we still do fight. I mean, I don't go to Pride a lot. I've been at one before, and it was far too busy.
Right, it was just busy. But do you not think it would be a nice touch towards inclusivity?
Well, you could have that, and I'm not saying against it, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be controversial whatsoever. I'm just saying that thinking of all the times that people had to go through the hurt and being put in jail and being and
so gay pride is really a kind of celebration of the freedom of being able to come out and be accepted.
It's been able to go, yes, we are. Well, I'm not saying we as in. I mean, I guess I'm a gay man, but I don't go to the Pride all the time. But I'm just saying that it's one of those. It's like we're allowed to be who we are now, and everybody else has been allowed to be straight for years, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But I also think, Alex, we need to have a balance and watch that heterosexual people aren't sidelined.
Well, that's fine. I mean, I don't disagree. It's just that I just felt that had to be said because I've looked into it a lot, over the years, because I was very late in coming out because I didn't want to hurt my mum's feelings. You know what I mean? And being an actor also was the other one. I didn't want to get not get jobs if I
but why would you not? I mean, there are many gay actors and theatre people.
A lot hid for years.
Yes.
And didn't say they were just because they were scared to. And now it's better that we're able to talk about it. And I think it's a great forward push that we're allowed to do that. It's just like I hate when people say something like, "When did you know you were gay?" Well, when do you know you were straight?
Exactly. Exactly. Do you not think? Do you not think? I mean, I'm generalizing here, but do you not think a lot of mothers actually probably know?
My mum did, because I told my granny first, believe it or not, and she told me to phone my mother on the house phone at 1 a.m. in the morning. And when I said to her, I'm just phoning, I was upset at something, and she went, Alexander, full name, Alexander, is that all you're phoning me for?
Isn't that amazing?
Well, I was going, yeah, and my whole family, they all stood behind me and went, right, whatever, you're my grandson, my son, my nephew, my godson, to what, my cousin, you know, to what.
Amazing. Good for you, Alex. Yes, absolutely.
I was 21 when you always know, but it's just that you're scared to come out. But yeah, that's all I want.
You shouldn't be.
No one should be. But there is a lot of attacks that went on. I mean, I've been attacked in the past for being gay, you know. So I lost an eye, you know, just for
goodness sake, Alex.
I'm not getting too personal, especially when it's live. But it was a long time ago, just for walking home.
Yes. Yeah, well, all that needs to disappear.
Oh, of course it does. Yeah. Well, as far as I'm concerned, we're all just humans, and we're all just...
We're jock dancers, bears, and I think this is why Scottie McClue's lives, you don't have to say anything about what you are one way or the other. As we would say in Scotland, you don't have to say ichi or ochi, because I think part of the divisiveness is people having to label themselves.
Oh, yes, there's no need for labels.
You see?
Just go on with it. And if folk can't accept you for who you are, that's up to... They're the one with the problem, not you.
Absolutely.
It must go on. And as I say, yes, I knew people in the past. I was young and training to act. It really was scary because I was thinking to see anything. We all knew as, you know, a class in college and, you know, and things, but I was scared to say it if you went out or open my mouth ever about it. Mm-hmm. I'm able to, and I have been for 20 years plus degree soon, believe it or not, Scottie.
Here's a lady not coping with you being on. She's saying, change the subject, Scottie. And then she's saying, bye, Alex. So she obviously isn't comfortable. She must be quite old-fashioned.
Okay. Well, I wasn't saying anything to...
No. That's not a reason for you to go. I'm just explaining what it's like at this side of things. Hello?
Hello?
Yes. Hello, Alex.
Oh, yeah, there.
No, I was just explaining here. There's Welly Song saying, I love Alex.
Oh, bless.
So that's rather good, isn't it?
Yes.
Excellent. Alex, lovely to hear you. Take great care of your dear self. And no, of course not. No, we're delighted. It was super. Thank you very much indeed.
And you take care.
And DINKY-DOO, sir.
Much love.
Top man, much love to you. There we are. That's Alex. Absolutely, a lady getting embarrassed. Change the subject, Scottie. Now, Welly Song. Totally agree. Everyone is included if they want to be. Hetero as well. You need to understand what LGBTQIA plus means. It's not heterophobic at all. You're live on Scottie's phone in. Who's that?
Good evening, Scottie. It's Humphrey.
Humphrey from London.
No. Well, technically yes, but I live in Leeds.
You're in Leeds. Excellent stuff. Good. We love to hear you from Leeds. Part of my old stamping ground, Humphrey.
Is it really? Whereabouts?
Well, I was on a radio station called Magic.
Oh, yes.
Yes, which used to go out of Radio Air, which was out at Kirkstall beside Yorkshire Television.
So it is. So it is.
There you are now. You see, I'm not just an athlete.
Absolutely not. How are you anyway, Scottie?
We're very well. I just thought we'd pop up random on a Friday night, and I can't believe just how amazing it's been.
Great audience, isn't there?
Fantastic, you know, and I mean, lovely to hear all the opinions.
Absolutely. I'll go on for you.
Yes.
So, I'm a father of a 2-year-old child.
Yes.
And what I've seen recently, I mean, I'm only a young father. I'm actually 25, but what I've seen off recent, the youth of the recent age is how the internet actually impacts the childhood. What is your take on that?
Well, you're absolutely 100%, not just your childhood, but your adulthood as well. So much of our life is now centering around the internet. Now, a lot of that helps with convenience. For instance, I no longer have to check the time, drive to the town centre, park my car, hope I make it into the bank, queue up to pay in £10. I can go tap, tap, tappity tap on my phone and it's done.
100%.
So
100%
that to
agree.
me is excellent. But little ones, when they should be out playing or playing in the house, going on a phone or the internet, not so good.
No? What makes you say that?
Well, because I think every last detail of what you do is recorded somewhere.
Absolutely, 100%.
So everything you do, every £10 you pay into the bank, somebody knows about it.
Yeah, 100% agree. So every £10, every conversation, absolutely anything you do that's online, that's recorded.
Also, exactly where you are at exactly what time of day. So somebody can look and go, no, he's in his house.
Yeah. But what is your opinion on, let's say, for example, a 8-year-old child getting a brand new smartphone?
Well, I think that's excessive. I think you could maybe have a wee shot on mummy or daddy's smartphone.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think an 8-year-old child really needs a smartphone. I mean, I had an incredible phone, and all it really did was you could make calls and receive texts. And I had that for years and years and years until a friend of mine just couldn't stand it anymore and said, I have to get you another phone. Then one night we were at a party and he wanted to ring his son to pick us up and he couldn't get a signal. And I took out my brick and we got a great signal.
Is that a Nokia?
Well, I won't go into what brand it was. And we had a great signal. And he said, I'm embarrassed. I said, don't be.
Crikey.
You know, and all that phone did. So an 8-year-old could maybe start on a phone that can receive he can make a call to mum and dad and can receive a text from mum and dad.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I agree with you there 100%. But then what about when it comes into, I know as they grow up, they do grow up. What age would you think is a suitable age for a smartphone for the younger generation?
12.
12?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep. When they're starting secondary school.
Absolutely, yeah. No, that's
at the earliest. And they should have it that you can't use your phones in school.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep. Oops, we've lost him. That was purely a technical issue, I should think. So there we are. Fantastic stuff. There we are. Bet you were a world champion at Snake, says David. Fantastic. Couldn't get a signal because you're in Scotland. Yes, they're called watchers. They see everything. I love the Scots. They have a kind heart, but are ruthless at the same time. Did you broadcast in Nottingham, says Angela? I did. I broadcast in Nottingham and the Midlands, Angela. The primary role of a para is to act as shock troop, says Geodog. Yes, indeed, Geodog. So the paras are actually special forces effectively, yes. There we go. I cannot believe how fast the time is going, guys. Dinky-Doo. Now then, in South Africa, the Paras, we also worked a lot of heli-borne fire force duties. Wow, Geodog, you are one courageous individual. The best golf courses in Scotland. Oh, so many kind of, almost any Scottish golf course is a cracker. So there we are. Tremendous stuff. We love that. Lots and lots of reaction from you. Keep it coming. We've got another 10 minutes, guys. Use it well and use it wisely. If you want to make a phone call and you're watching on YouTube, do feel free to come and join us. How tremendous is that? So what else have we got? I love Alex's Welly song. Absolutely Welly song, yes. I don't know why Lily was getting so uncomfortable. Very, very strange. Can you please say from all the mighty men in the mainland? No, Lewis, we don't say things on demand. It's not that kind of live. The irony of time is that time doesn't exist. It's only a human construct. I can see where you're coming from there. It's the clock. Are you ex-military, Scottie? I just get that. There we are. Is it just me, Scottie, that's having trouble with your stream? It's just you, Brian. Yes, I think everybody else has got excellent streaming. Is that right? Special Forces duties are mostly clandestine in nature. The Paras are noisy. Now, why is that? Because they'll have the rubber boots nowadays, Geodog. I told you, didn't I, about the commanding officer of, I think it was either the Paras or the Commandos. And the British officer, probably a Scottish officer, who was commanding the Gurkhas. And he said, my Gurkhas will visit your men tonight. Keep a watch out, see if you can spot them. And the Paras were up all night and said, you didn't come. And he said, tell your men to turn their boots upside down. And there were little chalk marks on the boots put there by the Gurkhas. They'd been in and out. So nothing noisy about that, I can tell you. But I would imagine if you're having a mass drop, there must be noise. You must see, you must know what's going on. It must be dangerous. Was there not, do the Paras not get fired upon when they're actually dropping? You know, very, very crazy. And remember, Dad, my father was also at Market Garden and defended the bridge at Nijmegen. There we are, as the radio operator. Lol, it's not your fault if you can't say the great English tongue. Lewis, I will have taught you the great English tongue. It's broadcasters like Scottie McCLUE that have brought the great English tongue to you. But much love. Hope you're well. Absolutely. Special Forces, our main duty is to silently observe, take out key personnel, and blow things up. So there you are. Well, that was our old friend, Major Stirling, wasn't it? There we are. Sharing the live. Thank you very much. Hello, Scottie. How do you feel about the waves treated by English did not get the recognition it deserved for finding the Northwest Passage? Very interesting, Mr. Martin. Yes, indeed. A little bit of history there. I wish you nothing but the best. So there we are. As a ginger, I've got your back. Thank you, Lewis. Very, very much appreciated. I can always remember a conversation, and I said to somebody where I was working, and somebody else piped up and said, oh, Scottie, somebody's got your back. And somebody else piped up and said, everyone's got Scottie's back. As I say, I've only met one bad man in my life who took money off me in a so-called business deal. The Chindits, the beginning of the SAS. Yes, indeed. The Chindits. Now, was that Major Bernard Ferguson? Have I got that right? Later, Lord Ballantrae. And then you had Major Stirling, who effectively started the SAS. That's a nice photo of you in the frame, Scottie. Yes, real anonymous. I get presented with these things. It's a lovely thing. We had a green-eyed monster on last week trying to make something of it. Guys, I've got 4,600 likes. I can't believe it. There we are. Quite fantastic. Special forces are airborne, but their application's very different, sir. Yes, it is different from the paras. So they've all got that. Yes, Brian, yes. So there we have it. Now then, lots and lots of likes coming in here, guys. 4,600 is incredible. The most I've had was 41,000 on a Sunday morning. Sometimes I've popped up on TikTok and as many as 30,000 people have joined me in a live. It's incredible. What do you think is the greatest thing that ever came out of Scotland, Lewis? There's just so much. Almost everything good about the world was invented by a Scot. There you are. And the BBC, of course, 100 years old this year. Sir John Reith. So there you are. But macadam roads, which stopped stuff getting smashed. I'll tell you what to look into, Lewis, the Lunar Men. Right? If you've never heard of the Lunar Men, look into that. We were specialized forces, but not special forces. But then you've also got the SBG in the UK, Geodog. So you've got the Seaborne Special Forces. Love and light, so Scottie, until next time. You as well, Real Anonymous. BBC, that's British. Yes, you're quite right. Although there's no such country as Britain, of course. It's a land mass. So when people go, I'm British, say that means you stay on the land mass. My mate lives in Shetland and I'm going there in June. Lewis, you will love it. We've got John on here from Shetland and we've had all the boys from Barra tonight as well. Fantastic stuff. So there we are. Never a dull moment. What else have we got here? Scottie, you blow my mind with your knowledge. Not at all, Brian. It's just giving people the facts, you know, information, education, and entertainment. That's what Scottie McCLUE's all about. And 30 years of Scottie McCLUE coming up in June. There we are, 5,000 likes tonight, guys. How amazing is that? Wonderful stuff. But no, Brian, I'm delighted to share my knowledge with you. And then it becomes your knowledge. But either or, you don't want special forces or paras on your wee tail. No, absolutely. So you wouldn't have one or the other. I'm with you, Geodog. So you would make a decision, a strategic decision, send the paras in there. Or no, I don't want the paras in there. I'll send in special forces. Sort that out. I would imagine special forces tend to work in a sort of smaller operation than taking over the airfield or whatever. Do you know what I mean? When you listen to Scottie, you learn. Bless you, Brian. And I'm sure when we listen to you, we learn. Karim, thank you for all your generous gifts. Guys, I'm going to have to go. We're out of time. Love you lots. Thanks for watching and dinky-doo. Isn't that amazing? That's our beautiful TikTokers have left us. Thank you very much to the rest of you gorgeous guys for joining us tonight. What an absolute treat it's been for me, and I hope you've enjoyed it as well. There we are. So this is Scottie McCLUE sing Dinky-Doo and the lovely Welly song, Bye to You, you fantastic person. Great to have you with us after all that time. We go back a long way, Welly song, and you're always there when you're at your most valuable. Bless you. Thanks very much. Guys, great show tonight. This is Scottie McCLUE saying dinky-doo to every single one of you. Stick out your tongue and say ta-ta.